All right, we're going to take a look at problem 8-45, special quadratics. It says, be prepared to share your factored results with your class. And it says to look for similarities and differences among the expressions and their corresponding factored forms. So let's first take a look at the expressions given below that need to be factored and see if we can see any similarities and differences. Well, I'm looking at letter A, and I can see letter A only has 2 terms. So that's different than letter B, which has 3 terms. Are there any others that also only have 2 terms? Yes. So I'm going to highlight the ones that only have 2 terms. And I'm going to do a little bit of investigating with these. So if we look at the first one, letter A, which was x squared minus 49. I am hoping you're realizing there's no middle term. There's nothing in the middle that was added together to give me something. But there was something that was added together to give me that. So if I make my rectangle, I'd have x squared and negative 49. And when I go to do my diamond problem, I'd have 0 in the bottom, and then in the top I would have negative 49 x squared, because that is the diagonal multiplied together. That was x squared times negative 49. So what 2 values give me 49? Well, 7x and 7x would give me positive 49x squared, and one of them is going to be negative because it's a negative value. Positive 7 and negative 7 gives me 0. So one of the values is negative 7x and the other one is 7x. So then let's take a look at what happens when we find our greatest common factors. So at the very top above x squared, the greatest common factor of x squared and 7x is going to be an x. The greatest common factor of negative 7x and negative 49 is going to be negative 7. Then down the left, I'm going to have an x, and then I'm going to have a positive 7. So my 2 factors are x minus 7 and x plus 7. So let's talk about those results. So those are called a difference of squares. A difference, meaning they're 2 different quantities. One is minus and one is plus. Okay, so we could use a shortcut when we do our next one. So the next one that we also highlighted that was like that was letter H, and that's x squared minus 36. So let's talk about it. Let's look at this one. We had x minus 7 and x plus 7 because they gave me 0 in the middle. So this one is going to be x and x. And then how do I get negative 36? By multiplying negative 6 with positive 6. So it's a difference of squares. So let's take a look at letter F, which was also like this one. Okay, also has no middle term. This one is a little bit different. I'm hoping you're realizing this is going to be minus 5 and plus 5. But then I have a 4x squared. So this is called a difference of squares because the 5 is you really get the 5 by taking the square root of 25. So what's the square root of 4x squared? Square root of 4x squared. Well, the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of x squared is 2x. So this is going to be 2x minus 5 and 2x plus 5. Let's look at letter L, also like this one. 9x squared minus 1. So we're going to have our 2 sets of parentheses. The square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 1 is 1, and because there's no middle term, it's a minus and a plus. So this is, again, called the difference of squares, where you only have two terms in your original expression to be factored.